I've been in Montana a lot of different times, but it seems pretty much every single one is during the winter time. I just haven't had the opportunity to get there during the summer. In this business, we just bounce from season to season, and it seems that once snow's over and dirt is here, you know, before too long, you're looking at it going, where'd the summer go? There's only a couple more weeks left. In places like Montana, I know every single time that I'm going to be faced with a new challenge, a new experience, a new boundary to push, because I've never been there when that hasn't happened. So every year we go to West Yellowstone to ride snowmobiles. Last year we rode with Brandy from Polaris West. While we were riding with her, she said, you know what, you guys gotta come back in the summer and you gotta see what West Yellowstone is all about. So I knew right away, we gotta do this. So this has gotta be one of those ones that we jump on and we don't just say, okay, next year. I wanted to bring somebody along who not only knew the area, but who I also knew and liked hanging out with.
EJ and I have known each other for over about 15 years. The relationship started off with me watching over him racing snowcross in the early days, and the last 5 years it's developed into more of a professional relationship.
To get out for a ride and really be able to kind of shut off the business end to a degree and just have some fun as buddies, it doesn't happen all that often. So this was a unique experience and I was super excited to be able to do it. The West Yellowstone scene during the wintertime is quiet, sleepy, not as many people going into the park, so therefore not as many people staying in West Yellowstone. During the summertime, game on. There is people everywhere doing everything all the time.
When we arrived into West Yellowstone, it was like black and white, the difference in terms of how busy the town is compared to the wintertime. You got to see a lot more people enjoying the town and the park than you typically see in the wintertime.
It's like you went from a small town to a city when you go from summer to winter in West Yellowstone, and I'd bet the population is not far off of that either.
West Yellowstone is unique from the standpoint that it's an area that is really laid back, slow paced, and an area that you really start to appreciate what Mother Nature truly has to offer.
Hey, Brandy.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good to see you. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Things are well?
Doing good.
AJ Lester.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you
Doing
too.
good.
So you've been scouting out the trails for us?
I have. We're actually going to head up South Plateau this afternoon.
Okay.
See some of the overlooks there that can overlook the town of West Yellowstone and get back into the back country a little bit out of traffic. And
Backcountry's going to be a bit different in the summertime, I think.
it's going to be a lot different. You're going to be surprised what you ride on.
That's awesome.
Oh, perfect. Sweet. It's just going to be an awesome ride.
Yeah, I think it should be good.
Yeah,
We're in for a lot of fun.
Looking forward to it.
Although you can't ride your ATV in side-by-side in Yellowstone National Park, the diversity of the trail system in the National Forest is amazing. You have everything from wide open family trails to thicker timber, more outlooks. There's actually different trail systems that are available in the summertime to ATVs and side-by-sides than there are snowmobiles. So you're not without opportunity in the summertime. In fact, I would say that you probably have a significantly more varied accessibility in the summertime than you do winter.
My first impressions of the trails in West Yellowstone were that they actually, consistency-wise, were very similar to back home in Canada. Where it starts to differentiate is when you start to gain altitude. Because back home, you might gain 100, 150 feet. In West, you might gain a couple thousand feet. That was really where things started to deviate from what I'm used to back home.
You know, what really stood out to me riding around the West Yellowstone area in the Gallatin National Forest in the summertime versus the wintertime is just the extent of all the other elements that you can take in and appreciate. You see obviously a lot more wildlife in the summertime. You get to appreciate the dimensions of the terrain a lot more because there's just not 5 feet of snow blanketing the area.
Something that really stood out to me that I'm not used to back home is the fact that you can go from these really tight mountain trails and break out into essentially what looks like a rolling pasture.
The latter part of our ride, we headed up what's called the Madison Arm Loop. And the Madison Arm Loop takes you up to a lookout called Horse Butte Lookout.
You travel up the side of this hill that in the wintertime doesn't look that big, but man, in the summer, it takes a while to get to the top. You not only break out into these rolling pastures that are huge open expanses, but you've got this awesome backdrop of the mountains right behind it. You've got an amazing vista of not only Hebgen Lake, but also the mountain ranges that surround West Yellowstone.
For AJ and I, what was really cool about it was we were able to sort of point out and look at all the different areas that we ride in the wintertime as well from this one area.
Yesterday, at the end of the day, we had the opportunity to find a trail that was significantly faster than what we had experienced earlier.
There's no questioning that between all of us, AJ, myself, and Brandy, we were sort of just itching to sort of get those razors going at a little bit quicker pace to see what they're capable of.
We'll keep it rubber side down.
Before you know it, Brandy was out of her Ranger, buckling in with AJ in the 800 Razor, and AJ just like took off, and I was just like, okay, we're on.
When you give two guys who like horsepower vehicles like the Razors, yeah, we're probably gonna start racing each other, and that's what happened when we got on this fast trail.
There's no doubt whenever you get two high testosterone males together that competitiveness is going to get sort of amped up, especially when you're in like Razors.
I got to just sit down, nestle in there, and give a hoop and a holler and smoke Vern in the process. So how bad can that be?
It quickly went from a game of basically just follow the leader through the whoops to see who can actually get to the end of this trail faster.
I started to pick up the pace, and as I'm glancing over my shoulder, I noticed that Vern's right there behind me. I mean, he's not too far back. And it was just kind of the natural progression that when you see somebody that close, you go, all right, I'll give it a little bit more. Man, there was a couple of times where Vern tried to pass me. I was just like, no, it's not happening, buddy. I'm not letting it happen.
Those razors are absolutely just amazing in terms of what they can do from a capability standpoint.
When you're in vehicles like razors, you just want to experience them. I mean, you're, in a go-kart with an 800cc motor. I mean, we were doing it safe, but we weren't letting back, and those right pedals were touching the plastic floorboards for sure. Honestly, it was just awesome fun at the end of a really cool day. So when we do stories like West Yellowstone, any travel story, we always want to talk about what else there is to do in the area. Between Bozeman and West Yellowstone is Big Sky.
When we saw the chance of going downhill mountain biking at Big Sky, I mean, you have close to 1,500 feet vertical descent that you can do on a mountain bike. It was just one of those things that I said, it's going to be something that we'll never forget.
If I'm being totally honest, absolutely nothing made me think about going downhill mountain biking. It was completely Vern's idea, and I kept saying, no, let's go ziplining, let's go ziplining. It's safe, it's good, it's fun. And Vern kept saying, no, we're doing downhill mountain biking. And I was like, man, I haven't been on a mountain bike for 10 years, but whatever. First ride down the hill, initially, I'm on this big mountain bike that's got huge suspension and big disc brakes. It is totally owning me, and I'm nervous with the shale stone because it washes your front end out. For the first probably 10-15 minutes, I was really, really apprehensive.
Slow up a bit. Oh, I'm getting arm pump like crazy. Man, my hands are just death gripping.
But by the time we sort of got past that halfway mark on the first run, he was right on it. I mean, he was taking it in for all it had to offer.
I got feeling like I can hold my own out here. I might not be, setting any land speed records, but I can do this.
Typically when you ride a mountain bike, the trails are worked in. It's compacted dirt. When you get to Big Sky, it's granite, shale, rock. That is probably the biggest difference when you get to an area like Big Sky, is sort of just that natural element that's sort of built into the course. They do an amazing job at sort of setting up the trails. I mean, you got trails that are geared towards the beginner, all the way through to the advanced.
I would say that they were pretty technical, and the shale stone just totally sets this place apart from what I understand other downhill courses to be, and makes it extremely, extremely technical, which, as much as it was slightly nerve-wracking for me, I also found fun.
As we sort of got towards the end of the day, AJ was sort of being smart, to tell you the truth, up to a point. And he was like, I'm just gonna take a break. And I was just like, I'm gonna just keep on going. There's this really cool little feature that we found. It was a drop that dropped down into a pretty steep vertical descent. I did it about 5 times, and I was just like, man, this is cool. We gotta try this.
I was like, okay, I guess I can do this. I guess I can give it a try. And Vern kept telling me, oh no, just do it, just do it. And I wanted to practice, and he was like, roll in behind me, don't think about it, just go for it.
I guess so.
Vern's motto is try anything once. Mine's not so much there, but I thought I'll join him for today.
AJ went off. All I heard as he landed was like, oh! just back a little bit too far, and he decided to try to stop the bike with his lower member, if you will.
You landed right on the back of the seat? No, I landed right on the tire. Oh, are you kidding me? No. Oh, it sucked it right into the tire. Oh, I hope I didn't rip my... Oh, great.
Opportunities like this pop up a lot for a lot of individuals. But what's unfortunate is that there's always these reasons why people think that they can't do these trips. And you sort of just have to say, you know, the heck with it. What's 1 week that I'm not going to be working? I'm going to take in this opportunity. These memories last a lifetime. And that's ultimately what you got to remember is when you take in these trips, is try to experience everything you can as much as possible. It's the memories that will last a lifetime and will make your life a lot more enriched.
At the end of this trip, I've taken away a couple of things. One being, you know, get out and do something that you've never done before. Go out and side-by-side, ATV, downhill mountain bike, somewhere that you've never been. And two, do it with people that you enjoy being with, because at the end of the day, you're going to create memories that will never be forgotten. They'll last a lifetime.